My name is Ahmad Angawi. I'm originally from Mecca and I live in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I'm a product designer and a maker. I like to make stuff with my hand. Since the beginning, I was always been interacting with craftsmen and I always been looking to work with them. I felt I wanted to go to the essence of making, so that's why the route of craftsman came along. I've been doing this craft and teaching it back home in the old city. There is a way to document and analyze and then innovate. And that's been the process of my making of things, is just to document them the way they are, analyze them geometrically and the way it's making, and then develop ways to innovate within tradition in the order of balance. Once you understand the structure of any craft, you can innovate. Those screens are assembled together without using nail or glue, so the cuts have to be very precise, otherwise you will not have this joint perfectly coming in together. Everything have to finish with the chisel, everything have to be cut with the hand in the end. When we're working, we always have to find a way to perfect each cut. So as a group, each one of us focus on a specific cut, and by time, you perfect it. That's the craftsman. He is a maker who makes things a beautiful object, but after he do it, after a while, he become crafted at it. He become a craftsman, and that need time. That need time and repetition, and to be always conscious and aware of what you do. So in a way, what we did it as a group, each one of us was focused on a specific cut, and he's naturally perfecting it because he's doing it day after day after day. We started working with makers here in London, and I really wanted to involve them in the project because, first of all, it was a great pleasure to work with such talents and to have this kind of exchange of knowledge that used to happen in Mecca from the craftsmen from different parts of the world. So we had people from Germany, people from Korea, people from Iraq, people from London, of course, and it was a nice, diverse group that each one of us have a certain way of doing things and a technique and profession that we learned from one another. So it was a wonderful experience for us as making those screens. Mecca is always considered as the heart of Islamic civilization, and I really wanted to work with this concept, meaning that the idea of inhale and exhale. Mecca have inhaled from cultures around and also exhaled its own. Culture is always based in this diversity. You can see it in our architecture, you can see it in our food, you can see it even in our own genetic blood. There's a lot of diversity in there, and we take pride in that. We celebrate the diversity and unity that we have. When I saw the two windows opposing one another in the tradition gallery, I immediately thought of a dialogue between those two. It have to be something that relates to what I was talking about, Mecca being the heart, and also walking into any museum or any gallery, you always look at the objects and art pieces with your mind and heart. With your mind, you can see how the craftsman is made, what techniques you use, what's the material. With the heart, if you're passionate about the culture, you completely connect with it. So we have this idea of dialogue between the heart and mind in many different cultures. So I thought of each time the person visit can sit, he can always reflect in this idea. Each one of those screens have openings, and those openings, we either call them units, and I prefer to call them letters. Same idea with letters. When you compose letters together, you come up with words. When you compose words together, you come up with sentence. And for me, it all falls within the grammar of Islamic architecture. It's all part of the element. So I start calling them letters and then composing, and made sure that each one of those units have a different. I wanted to show to the viewer that we have so much variation, and this is only just a few. And there's some of them are hyper, meaning that two units together develop this new interesting shape. And I saw that also part of the tradition that the craftsmen used to make it with that kind of concept. So I felt very comfortable to go in that direction, since also is been documented, it's been shown in the old Meccan houses, and again move with it and develop many different variations. I come up with so many variations because I was very excited. At the same time, I wanted to have the ideal screens there, something that represented my country, my culture, and also for the viewers to see that this is how you used to be, and this is what the different variations of it. Nowadays, we only look at appearance and how things looks rather than the process, how it develops, and if it follows an ethics of making. So I wanted to merge between design, craft, and technology and find a way that they can work together.